Hey, what's up guys, TotallyDubbed here, and today I'm doing a video for the Cooler Master Storm Quickfire XT. This keyboard I've got in front of me is running MX Cherry brown switches. So I got this keyboard for work. The reason I got it is because I do a lot of typing, and therefore I wanted something that would be comfortable to use, and furthermore the switches I like. I had a little key tester over here and I figured out brown is in fact really my favorite switch out of all of them. Although blue is quite nice to type on, I found that it's a bit too loud, especially for a work environment. It wasn't my go-to switch. Furthermore, at home I have a Logitech G710 Plus keyboard, and that has brown switches on it as well. Therefore I'm very much accustomed to the brown switches, and therefore went on the hunt for a mechanical keyboard. I came across this keyboard after various recommendations on overclock.net by various very kind members that took time in order to recommend this keyboard. The reason being was because of its build quality and the general look and feel of the keyboard. And after using for about a week, I can totally understand where they're coming from, and I'm extremely impressed with this keyboard. But before getting into my thoughts and opinions, I thought to share with you what you get in the box. So as you're able to see, it is a UK layout keyboard because I bought it from the UK, and I bought it from Overclockers UK for just under £70. It's got a big enter button, which isn't found sometimes in US based keyboards, and it's got the pound count key over here. What you get in the box is quite simple. You get this keyboard, you get a detachable USB, which is very handy indeed to have. You get a PS2 to USB converter, which is very useful and is used for changing the repeat rate, which can be changed over here by pressing FN and 1 times, 2 times, 4 times and 8 times. You get a key puller, which is very useful for taking out keys or cleaning your keyboard. And you get a set of extra keys. So as you'll be able to see, I have put the extra set of keys, and these are the arrow keys, on the keyboard already because I feel like it gives it a bit of personality. But if you don't like that, you can stick to the standard black look, which you can just see right here. You also get 2 keys which are with the Cooler Master logo and sign, which I've placed over here for FN and control. But again, if you don't like that, you can still stick to the stock. What I really like about the arrow keys is the fact that they've got WASD written on them as well. As you'll be able to see, WASD is written there, and therefore it can be actually used for here for in terms of like a gaming go-to key. And I think that's absolutely brilliant. The fact that Cooler Master have thought this through and actually included all these accessories, especially for quite a cheap keyboard in terms of as far as mechanical keyboards go, I think it's absolutely brilliant. Now in terms of the actual build quality itself, it's absolutely solid, and I really love it. What I've just felt that was missing from this keyboard was a wrist rest. There was no wrist rest included, so I would have to go and buy a separate wrist rest, which might not really blend in with the look. That's just one sort of thing that I thought I should mention. However, it's not a big deal because you should be aware of it before buying it. In terms of the actual build quality itself, I really like it. It's quite a hefty keyboard and it's very well built. As you're able to see, Cooler Master did think about fingerprints and what you might do on your keyboard, and therefore they've given it kind of a rubbery grey-black finish, which is absolutely brilliant because what it does is it prevents you from making your keyboard look kind of messy. And I found that on my G710 Plus, I found that over here you would see loads of fingerprints and it wouldn't really render the look complete. So I really like the fact that they've got this type of finish on it. If I move around here, you'll be able to see that you've got the num lock, caps and scroll lock. You've also got a win lock, which is activated by, obviously not by win, but by FN, which is this button, which I've replaced. FN and that button activates this light. One thing I should mention is that these lights are actually really strong. As you'll be probably able to see on the video, they do really come out really strong. And it's just a slight thing that I thought I should mention, and it can be kind of annoying for some people, but to me it's not that annoying. I just thought I should mention it because they are pretty bright. So if you're going to be playing in a dark environment, you're probably going to see these shining like a diamond. Now, as a work keyboard, I didn't really need any extra functionalities such as media controls or any sort of macro keys and whatnot. However, this does come with media functions. You got play, pause, stop, previous, next. You got the win lock key, you got the mute and volume up and down. And I think it's absolutely brilliant. It's quite fundamental functionalities that I would expect from a keyboard, but that said, I wasn't hunting for something like that, nor was I expecting it, and therefore when I got it, I was pleasantly surprised. Now, in terms of finally wrapping up the build quality, I thought I should just take you kind of on a tour of the keyboard. As you're able to see, I did unplug the USB cable, and again, I think it's excellent design, the fact they've got a USB cable. It's gold plated on both ends, and the cable is also braided, which is always welcome. It makes the overall look brilliant, and furthermore increases the portability of this keyboard and the longevity. If anything happens to your USB cable, guess what? You can just replace it with just another USB cable. And I think this is a really good design, and I think that other manufacturers should really adopt it. On the left side, you've got CM Storm written there, and then underneath. Now underneath, you've got the razors over here, which have got the screws behind it, and another razor over here with rubber bits around the keyboard in order to prevent it from slipping. Finally, you can see that this sticker has been removed by me, and it shouldn't be removed normally because it will void your warranty. But the reason I've removed it is because I'm going to be opening up this keyboard and painting it in orange, simply because it not only fits with what my work is like in terms of it's got an orange theme, but because I actually quite like the orange color, and I'm thinking of doing in a metallic slash electric orange color. I think it would look absolutely sexy. Now, finally, I should probably get on to the key typing itself, one of the most important factors of any sort of keyboard. What I should say is that this keyboard has O-rings on it. Now, if you don't know what O-rings are, here they are, and you might be thinking, okay, where do these O-rings go? Well, it's quite simple. They go under the keys. Now, you might be wondering, why would you do this? It's quite simple. The reason you put O-rings on there is to dampen the sound. It dampens it ever so slightly. Even on blue switch keyboards, it dampens the sound. Now, for brown switch keyboards, I didn't think the difference is going to be much, but there was a noticeable difference. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate this. So this key, this Windows key, is not going to have the O-ring on it, but the Alt key, which is over here, which I'm just going to prove to you, has the O-ring on it, as you'll be able to see there. It's got O-ring just in there. I'm going to try and compare the differences for you guys so you guys can hear the differences. So let's go ahead. I'm not going to talk for a little while. I'm just going to bash my keyboard. So hopefully you were able to hear a difference between the two keys. You've got a slight extra higher frequency pitch, should I say, when it comes to the keys without any O-rings on them. So if you're going to be typing a lot and noise can be an issue or could be an issue, for example you're in a work environment, then I would highly suggest investing in some O-rings. I bought 125 pieces of these O-rings and attached put them under all of these keys. And it cost me about £10 from Overclockers UK, the same source where I bought this keyboard. So again, I highly suggest this, and I would definitely invest into it if you want a little bit of a dampened sound experience, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm going to type on this keyboard and make you listen out for the actual keys and how they sound like. What I'm going to do is bring down the camera as well so you guys can actually hear it a little bit better, and I'm just going to start typing. Anyway, so hopefully you were able to hear how these sound like, and especially see how it would feel like if you were actually typing on it. Personally, I found that the feel was absolutely brilliant. It's very soft and the keys themselves are well made. I felt that they're quite thick, if that makes sense. The plastic is quite thick. So just a little close-up of a key, you'll be able to see it over here. I found that the keys were really nice, especially when I compared it to my G710 Plus. It felt a bit more premium, despite the G710 Plus coming at pretty much double the price of the CM Quickfire XT. So overall, I really do like this keyboard and would highly suggest it. Who will I suggest it to? Well, practically anybody. If you're someone which is going to be gaming, if you're someone which is going to be just typing, if you're someone which just wants a little discreet look with some extra media functionalities, or if you're someone that just wants a normal mechanical keyboard, then you can go for this. It's a very discreet look and fits into any office environment, and therefore I highly recommend it. Just in order to make a little comparison, I'm just going to type on my G710 Plus keyboard as well, so that you guys are able to hear the differences between the CM Quickfire XT and my G710 Plus keyboard. Just bear in mind my G710 Plus keyboard is opened up because that is also going to be painted, but it is also using MX brown switches, and furthermore has the O-rings attached to it as well. So here is my G710 Plus. So I'm just going to type on this. There we go. So you're able to hear and probably sense that the keys are kind of lighter and therefore make a sort of different noise. In that respect, I prefer the CM XT, and therefore can see why it is very actively recommended throughout forums and over the internet. So if you guys are looking for a brown switch keyboard that you don't really need any extra functionalities and you don't want to spend that much money, then I would highly suggest the CM Quickfire XT. If however you wanted extra functionalities, macro switches, backlighting, then you might want to look at the G710 Plus, which I absolutely love at home. Anyway guys, I've been Totally Dubbed, and hopefully this has been a good overview and review of this keyboard. If you've liked this keyboard and if you've liked this video, make sure you give it a like. If you want to share it and favorite it, it will always help and will definitely spread the love. Furthermore, don't forget to subscribe, as it always helps as well. And finally, do leave me your comments below of your thoughts of this keyboard and the thoughts of the video itself, and or if you are buying it or have it already. Alright guys, I've been Totally Dubbed, and this has been the CM Storm Quickfire XT Brown Switch Cherry MX mechanical keyboard. God, that's dog. Alright guys, take care. Bye bye.